Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar, Power Productivity, Joining Microsoft Dynamics GP and Office 365. We appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to join us. There are a couple housekeeping items I'd like to mention before we begin the presentation. All attendees are in listen-only mode. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please either raise your hand so that we can unmute you or submit them through the GoWebinar question box. We will be answering questions throughout the presentation. We'll also be following up after the presentation to answer any additional questions. So at this point, Jeff, I believe we're ready to transition the presentation over to you to cover the session objectives.
Thanks, Maria. I appreciate that. And thanks to everyone for taking some time this afternoon. We think we have a very insightful topic, and we really want to help all of you understand the power that the combination of Office 365 and Microsoft Dynamics GP bring to the table and how they're better together. So that's our main objective, and we'll talk a little bit about what is Office 365. I'm sorry, my screen flashed there. I hope everyone can still hear me. We're going to talk about what is Office 365. We're going to talk about how 365 by itself can help your business. We also are going to talk about different options available with Office 365, and we'll talk a little bit about what your resources are to find out more. And then I'm going to go through a scenario of how Dynamics GP and Office 365 work together. And at the end, like Maria said, we'll actually talk and answer some questions if there are any. And certainly we appreciate your participation and want to make sure that you walk away feeling like you got some good information and that your questions are answered. So feel free to ask as many as you have. First of all, I wanted to start off by just kind of giving you an overview of what is Office 365. And I am going to say that it comes in different shapes and sizes that we'll talk about soon. But really what it is it's cloud versions of the tools that you use today for communications and collaboration, and all provided to you via the cloud. So there's a lot of different facets of Office 365. So for instance, it includes Office, which would include the tools that you use probably every day in Excel and Word. Also includes PowerPoint, OneNote, which is a tool that I've discovered over the last year to really been very helpful in regards to my productivity, as well as Outlook, what was Link, which is now Skype for Business. And there's some other tools that are going to be included in this, as well as Yammer and so forth. And also included in that is SharePoint. And SharePoint Online, which SharePoint Online is a great document management and repository tool. Can be a good area for collaboration, and in fact, Socius uses SharePoint internally to be our intranet. So it's a great combination of productivity tools. So some of the advantages that you get is you can access it anywhere, and as many of you probably know, you're traveling a lot, or it seems like we're all working more and getting our information in different ways. So for instance, if we have people that travel, they may use a tablet or they may have their phone, and having access to documentation and productivity tools via those modes is all more important than it ever has been. Also, the other advantages that Office 365 brings to the table is that it's very secure, and the Office 365 tool is hosted in the cloud by Microsoft, and has a 99.9% uptime guaranteed. And so very reliable, so that it's something that you can count on 24/7. And it keeps you in control. It also helps you maintain costs because of its ability to allow you to not only monitor and be secure, but also regulate or track more easily your hardware investments, your infrastructure investments are easier, etc. And these productivity tools, and the purpose of today's discussion is to talk about how these tools can work hand in hand with Dynamics GP to bring you a more productive team across your organization, not just accounting, but any of the people in your organization that consume data across the entire company. So a few things from a finance perspective, Office 365 allows you to reduce capital expenditures and operational expenses. It makes your costs more predictable because you'll see as we talk about this a little bit more, Office 365 is typically, well, is available in a service mode of a certain charge per user per month. And we'll talk about more specifically about that here in just a little bit. And then you buy what you need when you need it. So if you have 5 users today and have 20 next year, then certainly you can invest as is necessary. Also, it's more flexible in regards to the deployment. Most of the hard work is actually handled on the Microsoft end, so there's less worry in regards to installation and support of the solution. You can move users back and forth when it makes sense from your business, and you can access it, like we said, anywhere, whether it be on a PC, on the web, via a phone, and we'll show you some examples of that as we go through. From a people perspective, I think one of the things that we like and actually has been a direction of even the GP product for many, many years now is that the familiar look and feel. Most people are familiar with Excel, they're familiar with Outlook, they're familiar with Word, etc. And also you'll probably have noticed, for those of you using GP over a period of time, that even GP has become more similar in look and feel to the Office products than ever before. Communication and secure anywhere access, and you don't need a VPN to do that. I think that's one of the things that makes it very, very nice and usable. And you can provide pieces of it for the right offer for the right users. And the other thing that is an ongoing concern for a lot of organizations is that how do I keep this thing updated, and who does that, and how do I make sure that I'm most productive with the most current product? And with Office 365, you always have access to the latest version of the applications, and you have the best end user experience. And it's maintained by an organization that has tremendous experience doing that. So you really gain a lot of benefit from that. Also, I just wanted to spend a moment talking about the mobility piece of this. This happens to be a screenshot from my iPhone. So it's not relegated to just the Microsoft environment when it comes to tablets and so forth, although I can run all of these on a Windows environment, a laptop, a Windows tablet, etc. But this is actually my iPhone, and you'll notice that I have Office 365 and the components of Excel and Word, PowerPoint, Outlook. All of those tools are right on my phone, and would also be if you're using an iPad or if you're using an Android device, that these things are available as well. You'll notice here that I also have OneNote and Yammer. Yammer is a great organizational communication tool. And then I also have I have a link here, but that actually has transitioned into Skype for Business with the acquisition by Microsoft of Skype. So now there's an instant messaging, telecommunications tool in Skype that really provides you with a lot of value. So I want to make sure that you're comfortable that Office 365 isn't relegated to your desktop. And that's why we really want to emphasize to you the value that it brings to the table. And I'm going to show you as I walk through a little presentation or scenario what I'm talking about in that regard. Okay, so next I wanted to just show you real quickly. This is another screenshot from my iPhone, and this is actually a screenshot of an Excel spreadsheet as you would see it on my iPhone using Office 365. So you can see that the look and feel of Excel is very much the same as what you'd expect, whether you're using it on your desktop or laptop or any Microsoft device as well. So I know many of you use iPhones, iPads, Androids, as well as the Windows environment. So feel comfortable that you'll actually have the ability to take this and use it no matter what's the device of choice. So what are our options? And there are many of them. So I just wanted to make sure that you had some idea, and where you can also do a little bit more research is if you go to products.office.com, you'll notice that there is an area here that's an Office area, and you'll notice that you have the ability to do some research. There are home versions of Office 365. There are business versions of Office 365, and so you'll have choices in regards to what products are best. We also have people that we partner with that specialize in Office 365. And so if this ends up being something that you're interested in or need more information on, you should reach out to your account manager, and they will be able to direct you in to some experts on this topic as well. My hope is that you can see that there's some great value in Office 365, but I want to show you really how it works with Dynamics GP, as all of you are doing that today. So once we select business, you'll notice that there are a variety of different business packages. So you'll see I have Office 365 Business, Business Essentials, etc. And each one of these packages has different pieces included in it. So one of these solutions would be right for your organization and allow you to have the components that will allow you to be more productive. But even on this site, you can see we have for home, for business, and then I've selected for business, and here are all the different options. To give you some sense, this is the highest level package, what's called Enterprise E4, and the pricing on that today is $22 per user per month for Office 365. On a home version of Office 365, you could see as little as $5 per user per month. And I also, for any of you that are also CRM users or are interested in CRM, there's also some bundling that's going on with Microsoft, and I just thought I'd make sure you were aware of this as well, as these tools all work so well together. You can see here that we have the ability to have some promotional pricing that is going on, where you can get CRM Online and Office 365 Enterprise E3, with also a tool called Power BI, which is something that we also do a lot of work with as well. And you can see that this is $65 per user per month. And then there are also additional products and packages for that as well. But keep that in mind if you're interested in CRM with Office 365. There's a lot of good bargain pricing really right now that will make it even more of a great return on your investment. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to take a few minutes, and I'm going to walk through a scenario where I'll set the stage a little bit, where we have folks from our accounting and our sales teams working together, leveraging Dynamics GP information, while also leveraging Office 365. So I'm going to take just a moment. I'm going to leave my PowerPoint slides for a moment, and I'm now going to jump into a tool that is called DemoMate, and we're going to go into a presentation mode here. All right, so I'm going to start off with a lady named Phyllis who works in accounting. So this is Phyllis, and what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to start with a situation where she's at month end and she's reviewing some reports, and we're going to follow kind of a process where she's able to share that information across the organization, and this will make a lot of sense as you go through it. So this is Dynamics GP. We're in the sales area of Dynamics GP, and for many of you, I think this is version 2010, but the look and feel is the same as the current version of 2015. So these demo screens come from a prior version. You'll notice over here that we have an option called Excel Reports. If I click on the Excel Reports, it will actually bring up a navigation list, and many of you may already be using the navigation list functionality that exists inside of Dynamics GP. And one of the things that I wanted to point out is this is a list of all of the Excel reports that are actually available for Dynamics GP within the sales part of the product. And so these navigation lists give you access to all of those. One of the things that's important is you'll notice this option area, and this is actually pointing out to an area that is in the cloud. So these reports, these Excel reports, are available via Office 365. I have the ability to select a report here. You'll notice when I select it, I highlight that report, and I can actually then view this report. So in this case, Phyllis is actually evaluating this customer report. She clicks View, and she actually opens this report. Now, one of the things that I think is important for all of you to know, and not everyone does, is that you actually have well in excess of 200 out-of-the-box Excel reports that ship with Dynamics GP, as well as another 200 plus reports that are available using SQL reporting services. So these get deployed as part of your implementation of Dynamics GP, and then you also have the ability to offer even more of those. But this report really focuses in on contracts that are available from the organization and the contract hours that are used and how many are remaining. And so Phyllis actually is finding some areas where she finds some concern, and so we want to make sure that as she views the report, that she has the ability to make sure that other people are aware of this information. So this is more of a dashboard type look. We also can click here under up here at the top. You'll notice that we have some data here. We have contract hours year to date. We have contract hours remaining. You'll notice that these contract hours are actually tied to each of these individual transactions are tied to a territory, and as we look here, we actually will notice that the data needs refresh, so we actually have the ability to come up here and refresh that data. And all of this information resides in Dynamics GP, but we're viewing it through Excel. So these actually are refreshed automatically Excel reports that you have access to. Okay, so now you'll see that I have my hours here. One second, please. So Phyllis is reviewing the columns. Not getting the what I expected here. Just give me 1 second. I'll find out where it is. Okay, so now I'm going back into the dashboard, And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at just Territory 5. And what's nice, because I've found that the data in Territory 5 is an area of concern, and I need to share that information across the organization. So what Phyllis does here is she's able to actually, and now we're in SharePoint, we're going to be sending this information through SharePoint, so I actually have the ability to send it through. I have the ability then to click over here using Save to SharePoint, and as I do that, I then have the ability to, from there, I have the ability to jump into SharePoint. So notice here that I can view SharePoint, and by what I've done is I've saved these to SharePoint, and SharePoint allows us, as a Microsoft tool and part of Office 365, actually allows us to save this data and share it so that other people have visibility to it. So from here I can actually click on Shared Documents, and then I can actually highlight this particular report. And through SharePoint, I actually have the ability to email a link. And so what Phyllis does here is she clicks on Email a Link, and she can send this to Julia. And Julia may be a project lead or an executive in the organization, and Julia needs to know that there is an area of concern. So what we can do is then send that email directly. And so now she has notification of these updates and the ability to analyze, even if she's a constant traveler, maybe not in the office very often, and because of that needs to be able to be notified, and Phyllis is making sure that she knows this information right away. So what we're able to do then is we're able to move to an area, and this is now Julia's email. And this is what she got from Phyllis. And so in her email, via her phone or her tablet or a laptop, she has the ability to then see this email and actually drill into the report that comes from this link. And so now this very report that we were looking at before, when Phyllis was analyzing the report, is now available directly from to Julia. And all that Phyllis had to do was actually put it to SharePoint and then email it directly to Julia. So then Julia can look at this report, she can evaluate it, she can look at Territory 5, and at this point she may actually have a rep in Territory 5 that can analyze the fact that maybe the hours are out of whack and it needs to do a little bit of work to get all of this updated, or maybe find out a solution to make sure that they are able to take care of the problem with the project hours. So Charlie's the guy then that's next in line, and what he can do is he can actually evaluate the data, and I'm going to show you that he's actually using, he's going to be able to see the same data on his phone, which is in this case a Microsoft phone. So this is actually a Windows phone. Julia has actually texted him this report, so I actually can click on a text message here, and what I can do then is I can actually drill into the report directly from here. And so this will actually, from the phone, I now have access to that very same graphic that we were looking at before. From here, I have the ability to then drill in, and you can see a side view of this particular view, and in this example, what Charlie was able to do is then make some calls to customers, extend a contract, be able to expand hours, and move forward. So I think the main thing that we're trying to let you see here is that Office 365 in conjunction with Dynamics GP allows you seamlessly to share data across the organization in a very simple fashion. And we have a number of other examples where people are using these Excel dashboards. We have tools called the Business Analyzer. We have people then publishing those reports so that you can get the information you need on the fly as you travel or whether you're in the office, and there are a variety of different ways of doing that. So ultimately then, what I wanted to then come back to then is our PowerPoint presentation. And just wanted, and this is a very short presentation because I just wanted to walk you through a scenario, and hopefully it made sense, and answer any questions that you may have in regards to what you've just seen in regards to Office 365 and Dynamics GP. So Maria, if there are any questions, I want to make sure that we are able to answer those and get people headed in the right direction. The cloud, oh, by the way, one other thing, the cloud is also an area where Dynamics GP is available. So many of you probably already have GP in your own server environment, but it's also available in the cloud in a hosted environment by Microsoft, or it can be hosted elsewhere, so that all of your products can be maintained and serviced without the heavy burden of maintenance internally. So anyway, Maria, it's back to you.
All right, Jeff, it doesn't look like right now we have any questions. We can wait a little bit and see if anything comes through, but just a couple additional items we wanted to mention before, or if you think of any questions you have as I say these. We have a couple upcoming events and current promotions that can be found on our website, socius1.com. Our next GP monthly user webinar will be on August 20th, covering integration considerations for GP and CRM. We also wanted to mention that our Solution Spotlight series featuring BI, Cloud, and CRM coming up next week. These events are free to attend, and we are offering 2 hours of CPE credit for each person that does attend. Visit socius1.com/spotlight if you'd like to register or learn a little bit more about any of these events. Let me see if there's any other questions right now.
So Maria, while you're waiting to see if there are, the main purpose of this discussion is really to create some awareness for you about what Office 365 and GP can do together. This was one example. We have a variety of people that are taking advantage of it now, and we wanted to make sure that you were aware of it as well, because many of these tools are tools you use anyway, but by using them with Office 365, it's far easier to share. The movement toward mobility, etc., is going to continue to move forward, and we want to make sure that you're as efficient and as forward-thinking on this as you can be. And again, just to remind you to certainly contact your account manager if there are ongoing questions, or if you'd like to actually get a little bit more detailed demonstration of Office 365.
Oh. All right, it looks like we may have one question from Danielle. Let me look. Danielle says, can you show the slides with the bundled pricing again, please?
Sure. Let's see. This is the, I'll make sure I go, Danielle, make sure I go to the right slide. This is one with CRM. Bundled with Office 365 and Power BI, and this is actually $65 per user per month. This is actually the Office Enterprise E4, which is the highest level, and it is at $22 per user per month. And let's see if I have another one here. That's all I have on here, but I do know that, for instance, on the business or business essentials, I can't recall, you should expect that you'll see somewhere between $5 and $12.50 per user per month. And the more pieces or add-ons to the product that you add, the more, obviously, that we're looking at. And so, as a matter of fact, as part of that, well, let's just say that if you go to products.office.com and you drill into these different areas, you will see the different prices for each one. All you have to do is highlight the selection. Obviously, this isn't a slide, and you'll be able to see that. But I do know that the business ones can, there is a significant range. And these top three, these Office E1, E3, and E4, are going to range probably somewhere in the $18 to $22 range per user per month.
Okay. Well, it does not look like any other questions have come through at the moment.
Well, I think that we've probably given people a few minutes back in their day. We just wanted to make sure that you kind of got an idea or an inkling of how these tools can work together. We certainly can talk in more detail if you have some ideas, or certainly feel free to contact your account manager to maybe have a more detailed discussion. This really was meant to just give you, whet your appetite a little bit about what this can bring to the table.
All right. Okay, and we'll just wait a couple more minutes to see maybe if any other questions do come through. Jeff, if that's all right.
Sure.
Okay, we have another one. Debbie, this is about the Office 365 store has Microsoft Dynamics GP workspace app that can be purchased. What do you know about that, if anything?
I probably don't know enough about that, Debbie. Use the Dynamics GP Workspace app.
Yeah, it was the Office 365 store has Dynamics GP workspace app. Yeah.
Okay. I will do a little homework on that. Debbie, I think we have your email from the presentation, from the sign up, and we'll make sure that we get you some answers on that.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all for now.
Okay. Well, I guess thanks to everyone for attending. Feel free to contact me if you need. My email address is jsmith@socius1.com. I think I have that in one of my last slides here. Let's make sure you can see it. And I will be glad to help, or reach out to your account manager and they'll be glad to help you as well. And I will do some research on the Dynamics GP app on the Office 365 store so that we have more details on that.